and welcome to Pi TV, that is Partners in Education TV. I'm Destiny Burchett, and here with me today is Kirsten Ersta and Rachel Moon. Hi, girls.
Hello.
And why don't you start things off by telling us a little bit about yourselves?
We are 11th graders and go to Weatherly Area High School, and I believe this is our first year for each of us going into Partners in Education.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So you go to Weatherly, and you told me something interesting about that before the show, so why don't you share with us what that was, Rachel?
We only have 56 kids in our entire 11th grade class and 250 in our whole high school.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
Really close knit. So it's different from other high schools who might have, say, 500 or 800 in each class.
Very different.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about how this project got started?
Well, we first we got a profile from the headquarters of Partners in Education, and we had to go to a local business in Hazleton, and we got to interview Mrs. Donna Palermo of the Greater Hazleton Area Commerce, and she was very helpful, and it was very interesting to learn about something that you didn't know anything about before.
And Rachel, what is this project called?
It's our business profile project.
Pi Business Profile.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pi Business
Good
Profile.
name. And you enjoyed it, definitely. So it was very interesting.
Yes, yes.
And what other activities do you partake in Pi?
Well, there are meetings that we go to with other kids who are in Pi from other schools, and they're at local businesses, and we just learn about those businesses. And also, each one of us is going to have a job shadowing experience as well through our leaders in Pi, which is really cool.
Yeah, so you're excited about that. And
Yeah.
when is that
Yeah.
going to be?
Well, it's different for each of us, but she has a date for hers. I don't
Yes,
have
mine's
mine
taking part on March 29th.
And what's your job shadowing going to be?
I'm going to Boscov's to job shadow the manager there, because for college I want to go into fashion merchandising and marketing.
Wow, that's really great.
Yes, so I'm excited.
And why don't you tell me how you went about researching your company, which was, again?
The Greater Hazleton Chamber.
Okay.
Yes.
We got a profile, like she said, from our Pi leaders, and we researched the company on the internet. We had to pick a company out of 20, and we picked the Chamber of Commerce in Hazleton. And we just found out as much as we could off the internet. And then we went to the company, actually, and we interviewed Mrs. Donna Palermo.
And why did you pick the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce?
It was something that was close, and we knew of it, but we didn't know what it actually did for our community. And as we got talking and got through the interview, we learned so much more than we actually knew before. And it was just something very different to try.
Yeah.
Did you find the research hard to do, or how
Not
did you
at
feel
all.
about that?
No.
They have their own website, and when we talked to Mrs. Donna Palermo, she's really easy to talk to, and she told us a lot about her company that we didn't know.
Well, that's great. The research was readily there, so that's really great. Thank you, girls,
Yeah,
for
thank you.
wonderful information. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back with more Pi TV.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the
My dad's one of the producers who was there today. Bring this one.
and welcome back to Pi TV. We have another special guest with us, Donna Palermo, president of the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce. Hi.
Hi.
And you girls told us earlier about Pi business profiles, and you said that there was an interview process with the partner, Mrs. Palermo. And tell me about scheduling the interview.
Well, we called her on the phone and we scheduled it, and she was able to tell us a lot about her company and different things that she actually looks for when she hires employees of her company, which was nice. It was different to get to learn that from somebody who actually does it.
And did you do the interview over the phone or in person?
We went in person to our office.
And were you a little nervous, or how was that experience?
Well, we've never met before, but it was, she made us feel very comfortable during the interview. Just relax, take it slow, and ask any questions that we need.
So the meeting went well, you'd say?
Yes.
And Mrs. Palermo, how do you think the meeting went?
I thought it went very well. The girls were very professional. They had all of their questions prepared with the help with the Pi office. So they were very prepared.
And Mrs. Palermo, can you tell me why your business is in Hazleton?
Well, our business is 121 years old. We were formed in 1892, and the main purpose of our business, it's a business organization, it's a membership-based organization, so we're here to help the businesses in Greater Hazleton, and that is through many different ways, through seminars, through job fairs, through health and insurance programs. We're here to help businesses succeed in the area. So we have a multitude of different programs. We have very small businesses from one individuals right to the largest industries in our industrial parks. So we have a multitude of different type of programs to help these businesses.
And it also helped Pi also. So
It definitely does, and vice versa. Through our relationship with Pi, we're able to work more closely with the industries and with the educational system. So it helps us to get in front of those businesses, to find out what their needs are, and then work with the educational facilities to help prepare the students to work in the industries here in Greater Hazleton.
And what do you like about Hazleton, that area?
Well, I love Hazleton. I'm born and raised here in this area. It's a small town community, but yet we have a multitude of different type of jobs available. It's a family-oriented community, a great place to raise your children, a great place to work. We have great educational facilities. So I think we have a little bit of everything that we need to have a very productive life here living in Greater Hazleton.
And that's so great that we have people like you and your businesses to help people out with things like that. Now, girls, were you surprised by anything that you saw or heard in the company?
Yes, there are actually only 7 employees in the whole building located in Hazleton, but it's expanded, and it just showed that only those 7 employees or so many employees can actually represent thousands of people in Hazleton and can represent what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're a nonprofit organization. And I didn't know a lot about the chamber, but I learned that basically their main purpose is to make the Hazleton area just a more positive place. And one of the things that surprised me was that they actually do Fun Fest. And I thought that was really neat. And they work on the roads and put like street lights up. So.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that either, so that's great information. And based on what you've learned, would you want to get into anything like that having to do with Ms. Palermo's business?
Of course. Yeah, I think it's great to give back to your community or to make businesses in your community like that much better. I think it's awesome what her and her company do.
I think getting involved in something like that really does teach you a lot of lessons down the long road, and it shows you a way that you can make everything a lot better.
That's great. So obviously your views on the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce are positive, so that's wonderful.
Yes.
Upstanding young ladies, I'm sure, that grow up to be just
That's what we're looking for in our business and other businesses, is for our youth to get involved in the community, to make a difference in the community. Myself, others are not going to be here all the time, so we're looking for them to get their education and then give back to the community by volunteering, by working here in the community. So it's a great opportunity through PI to have the students come into a facility such as mine and other businesses so that they're aware of what is exactly here and the job opportunities that are here in Greater Hazleton.
And can you describe some of the job opportunities, just to give us a little brief?
Well, we have so many different, healthcare industry, manufacturing industry, professionals. We have so many, just our chamber alone, we have nearly 700 businesses that are members of our chamber. So anybody, and the students, they get a great opportunity through Partners in Education to go into some of these industries, to job shadow in the industries. We in turn use Partner in Education to go into the school district and to talk to the students about what type of jobs we do here in Greater Hazleton. So it's just very beneficial to have a program such as this and to let the students know what's available right here in their own backyard, and that you don't have to go outside of the area to get a very good job.
And how do you girls feel about that?
I agree completely. There are so many job opportunities in Hazleton. You have to know where to find them.
And that's really important information to know, and so that's super, super helpful. Now, back to the interview. How did you prepare your questions and what you were going to ask Mrs. Palermo?
We were given the questions, or at least an outline of what we could ask her for our business profile. And of course we went online and we checked out a lot of the questions there. But we just wanted to come up with a few just to see what, to actually get in depth and to see what actually Greater the chamber was by ourselves, and to get more insight for our own personal questions.
So you put your own little spin on it because, of course, you're curious and everything.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, that's really, really great. You guys are doing a great job, obviously.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Palermo, just a quick wrap up. The Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, where is that located exactly in Hazleton?
We're in downtown Hazleton, 20 West Broad Street, so we're very accessible. And we're on a one-level building. We expanded. We used to be in the Can-Do building, and about 7 years ago we moved just one block downtown. And not only do we service our business community that is right here in Greater Hazleton, but we get a lot of people who come in, stop in the chamber for small business counseling, or they're coming in to look for a job and they need a community tour. Or they're just looking to say, well, I'm thinking about moving here, but I want to check out the community first. So they'll come into the Chamber of Commerce for those issues as well. But then again, we have many, many different committees, such as the Fun Fest Committee, and we look for volunteers. So that's an avenue where we always look for students to help us by volunteering some hours, and thereby getting a little bit more knowledge about what our company is about.
Thank you. Well, don't go anywhere because we will be right back with more Pi TV.
Barely being able to eat or talk properly, to hold a job or attend school.
Imagine being abandoned by those who should love you unconditionally.
For those born in a developing country, this is a reality.
Fact. Each year, over 165,000 children are born with cleft lips or palate.
Most can't afford this simple yet life-changing surgery.
Every child deserves a chance to smile.
BCTV, in cooperation with Smile Train, is sponsoring a Smile Drive. Our goal is to raise $1 for every student district-wide.
If we succeed, we can change hundreds of children's lives.
For just $1, you can make a child smile.
For just $1, you can save a child's life.
So with your generous donation of just $1, you can make a difference.
welcome back to Pi TV. We're still here with Rachel Moon, Kirsten Ersta, and Donna Palermo. The previous episode, you guys told us about Pi business profiles. You also told us about your business, Greater Hazleton Area Chamber of Commerce. Now, can you tell us the skills you're looking for when you're hiring new employees?
Well, we definitely look for academic, technical skills, employability skills. And everybody knows now that this is the day of the computers, and you always have to have your computer skills up to date, constantly refreshing your skills. But more importantly, we need to stress the soft skills. Simple as, and we think it's simple, but apparently, the businesses are having a hard time. Attendance. We have an attendance matter initiative through Partners in Education, trying to get the students to realize that you do have to come to school every day. It relates right into the workforce. Our employers are telling us that their employees do not have those soft skills that they need. Attendance is a big issue, because if you're not in work attending, then that's costing that business money. So that is very, very important. We're having issues also in the workforce, passing drug tests. We have a lot of people who can't pass a drug test, so it's very important that the students realize that this is a requirement of employability in our industries. So we need that. We have a lot of opportunities, like I stated. And the employers are willing to train individuals if you're willing to give an honest day's work and be trainable. So some of those issues are very critical. All of them are very critical to business success and your success in having a well-paid job.
And would you say, when you tell students that in schools, that it really gets across, or?
Well, it's something, again, through Pi and through that initiative, I think we're trying to get into the lower grades and to the high schools at the same time to stress this. I think having that initiative certainly helps. It has to carry through, though. It has to, go right into that workplace. Once, and that's going into, if they're going to college, if they're going to trade school, you have to be there to learn, and it relates right into learning in your employment avenue.
And how did you girls feel when they told you about all these things, how some people aren't passing drug tests and attendance and things like that relating to the workforce?
I think it just kind of opens up and see that how difficult people make it for themselves to get a job with a company such as Ms. Plamero's. I mean, it amazes you seeing that all these outer world things affect your personal life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that Mrs. Palermo talked about when we interviewed her was communication. And like, if you have the best idea in the world but you can't get that across, you can't tell anybody about it, you might as well not have that idea. And it's just scary that some kids can't communicate.
And one of the key ingredients in working in the workplace is you have to be able to work as a team. Yeah. Our employees, they all have their own individual jobs, but then there's many times when we all have to come together to get one of our tasks done. We have an upcoming job fair, and when I tell people that when you go to a job fair, all the employers are there. When you go into that job fair, dress as if you're going right into the interview, because many of those businesses that are there, they will interview you right on that spot. So you have to dress appropriately. There's all different types of dress. If you're in an office, definitely you dress such as I am. If you're working in a different type of industry, well, maybe you're dressing in different type of clothes. But always have that professional appearance and always be ready to work and get there on time.
Yeah. That's definitely important. Now, you mentioned a job fair. Can you explain that?
Well, that is one of the other initiatives that our chamber started many years ago, where we bring the industries in the greater Hazleton area and some outside of the area to Genetti's in Hazleton here. This year we have 61 employers who will be there. So you have to come ready with your resumes. You have to be willing to be able to communicate with those businesses. You have to have the skill set to be able to talk with them and discuss what you want. And then hopefully you will get an interview to work for that company. But right here, this year, 61 employers are looking for workers in Greater Hazleton. So you need the skills and the skill sets to be able to get a good paying job.
Right, because it's a really great opportunity.
Right.
Now, with your meeting with Mrs. Palermo and looking up the research online, did anything surprise you?
Just how much the Chamber of Commerce helps. Like I said before, I really didn't know what the Chamber of Commerce did, but basically anything good in Hazleton, the Chamber of Commerce is a part of. Like the roads and a job fair and Fun Fest.
Well, I did not know about Fun Fest, so that's cool. And a lot of people go to Fun Fest. You both go to Fun Fest?
Yes.
Now, how do you think this project will help you trying to figure out what you want to do with your life based on your career?
I think that Partners in Ed really helps the students that are involved what they want to do with their life and what they're planning on doing with their future, and showing that if you want to do this, you can do it. It's just a matter of that you have to try and put yourself in that position, and you have to just kind of help yourself to get there, and it'll happen.
Put yourself out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I might add too, through Partners in Education and the job shadowing, somebody might want to go into, say, the hospital, and they want to be a doctor or a nurse, and they go through the job shadowing and they realize, well, maybe this isn't the field for me, but I saw radiology, I saw a technician there, and that looks really interesting. So it gives them that opportunity to actually see the job, talk to the professional in that job, and get more knowledge on what the requirements are.
And speaking of job shadowing, what other jobs would you be able to include in that? You told me earlier Boscov's because you wanted to go into fashion, which is super great.
Yes.
But what other job shadowing opportunities are there?
Well, I'm going to job shadow an occupational therapist. And I'm not sure what I want to do yet, so I'm thinking about doing that, and then maybe physical therapy, anything else really.
It's a lot of trial and error.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to go into something and then you try this job shadow and you may not like it, well then you get another chance. And you can just keep going and going until you figure out what is the right one for you.
And Mrs. Palermo, the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, is this something that's been in your family, or how did you first get involved with that?
No, I had different professions, and I interviewed for a position at the Chamber of Commerce. I didn't know anything about the Chamber when I was, say, your ages, so it was a learning experience for me too. But like I said before, the Chamber is a one-stop shop. You could go there if you're looking to start a new business. We have counseling in our office. If you need to promote what jobs you have available, we have the job fair. We have many, many different committees that acknowledge and give you more information on what we provide. But seminars for training for the industries, networking events so that businesses can get together and learn about each other, what type of business each other is involved with, and then hopefully work together. Maybe your business makes boxes and this business has a product that needs to ship something in a box, so we try and put them together so that they do business together, which is economically a benefit to the Greater Hazleton area.
And that's just so great that there's so many areas that help all people, like I said before. Well, thank you girls so much, and you, Mrs. Palermo, for giving us all this wonderful information on Partners in Education and the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
And thank you for joining us on Pi TV. And if you have any questions about Pi TV, you can visit the website that is as following.